Grand Rising Divine Legend. Welcome to the seated twisted class. I designed this class to be on our back to start and seated twisting, and then we will end in a meditation at the end. You won't need many props for class, but if you want to have your blocks nearby, always suggest that if you have the props, why not have them handy? We're going to start on our back. So go ahead and lay back in that supported position where we take the feet wide to the edges of the mat and we let the knees knock together. You can wiggle your low back into the mat and spread those shoulders wide. Keep the neck nice and long. I always like removing the hair out from underneath my neck, keeping the chin slightly tucked so that you feel that length from the top of your spine down through the neck, down into your back. Nice and long tailbone as well, lengthening at the end, not curling up at all. And start to breathe through the nose and out the mouth. We'll take a few cleansing breaths to begin our practice. And feeling the belly rise, the shoulders lift a bit on the inhale. And the whole upper body sink toward the floor on the exhale. Couple more on your own. Keep the breath in the body by continuing to inhale and exhale through your nose. Feel your hips heavy on your mat, your knees resting against each other. Shoulders are soft, away from the ears, not crunching up at all. Just arriving here into the moment, arriving onto our mat, letting all the to-do lists go, letting all the things still to come go. Coming into this present moment, following the breath in through the nose, cool, out through the nose, warm. When you're ready, you'll bring your right hand across your chest underneath that left arm where the bra strap typically lies on the female body. And then that left hand across the right arm, bicep, shoulder, almost bringing those shoulder blades apart a bit as you hug yourself tightly in that torso. Continuing the breath. And setting an intention for this practice. So setting an intention for yourself, perhaps, to stay in the present moment, to stay with your breath, to give honor to your body wherever you are today. Maybe it's releasing heaviness, sadness. Maybe it's intending for another person. We'll seal that intention in with a hum. It's an Om. You can keep your mouth open in the O as long as it feels right to you. You can close the lips right away and just hum your way through it. We breathe in a big inhale. We see the intention at the top of the inhale for a moment, and then we Om, hum it by sealing it to begin our practice fully. So taking a big inhale. See that intention. And seal it with that hum. Oh. Releasing the upper body, the arms come down by the side. We'll take the knees apart and begin to windshield wiper those knees side to side. If it feels good to bring those arms wider to a big airplane, wide off the sides of the shoulders, palms up, maybe spread the fingers so the arms engage. And then begin to slow the knees down a little bit here, and you'll turn the head the opposite way of your knees. You might pause a moment from side to side, follow the breath, inhaling one direction, exhaling the other. One more each direction. Exhaling over to this side, and then inhaling your feet flat, knees bent, hip width apart. Maybe draw the feet a little closer towards your hips. Hands down by the side. We'll come into some bridge movement, inhaling the hips up one vertebrae at a time. Go slow, like you're on a string of pearls. As you exhale that string of pearls down, you'll lengthen the tailbone at the end before you start to curl up again on your inhale. Coming all the way to the top where you feel a stretch down through the tops of your knees, even going slow enough to really articulate the spine all the way. Next pass might lift the arms with the hips, slowly floating them overhead. And then coming back down with the hips with that exhale. Follow the breath, a few more rounds. Last round. Take your arms back wide, palms up, maybe even goal posting if that feels okay for your shoulders. And again, you'll take those feet wide to the edges of your mat and begin to windshield wiper. Follow the breath. Press that top knee down as you come across to get into that hip flexor. One more breath. Feet will come close to the hips again, hip width apart, staying bent in the knees. Hands come down by the side, lifting the left right foot up, flexing it across the left thigh. Press that right knee out. You can stay there if that feels like enough. Or you can lift that left leg, grab behind the knee, try and stay off the shin, not squeezing your knee, giving it a rest. And you can just stay right here, pulling your left knee towards your chest, pressing that right knee away from you, keeping your right foot flexed to protect your knee and your ankle. If you want to roll your left ankle out one direction and then the other. And then you can hold and breathe into this, or you can start to rock slightly side to side, just inviting a little more movement, taking this stretch dynamically. Keep the breath coming through the nose, in and out, smooth and steady. You'll come through center. If you were rocking, hook those right toes across that left knee, and you're gonna let that left knee fall to your left side. We're in our first big supine twist here, where you're gonna extend that right arm out, gazing over that right shoulder. Your left hand might find that right shin. If you can get that right shin, pull that foot a little closer to you to really secure your hand at the bottom of that shin near your ankle. And then push that right knee away, getting into the IT band a little deeper here. Take another breath. We're going to stretch this quad on the right side. So listen as we release that shin with the left hand, pick the right leg up to stack your knees, lift your left arm overhead so that you find the bicep with your head. As you come onto your left side, you'll grab that right foot and draw that heel into your glute. Now, if you don't find the top of your foot, if you don't have the same flexibility that I have, maybe you find the back of your pant, and that's what you can pull on. The ankle works here too, keeping the foot flexed. We'll get into that quad a little deeper. Last breath. Inhale onto your back. Draw that right knee into your chest. Lengthen your left leg out. Roll your right ankle one direction, then the other. Draw that leg back up to the sky and point and flex your foot. And again, roll the ankle around, getting a good stretch down the whole back of the leg here. And then we'll come into a full supine twist on this side by bending this right knee. Push into your left foot so that you can lift your hips up and stack them as you draw this knee across. That keeps your spine long. It helps your shoulders stay flat on the mat. And then you can turn the gaze down that right arm. And notice my left hand stays on this knee, pressing it toward the floor. That's going to deepen the twist. It's going to allow me to release my left hip on the bottom and get into this twist even deeper, taking 2 more breaths here. On your next inhale, tighten the belt as you come all the way onto your back again. We'll take the knees wide to the edges of the mat. We can goalpost those arms if it feels okay for the shoulders, or keep the arms long, and then windshield wiper side to side, just releasing any tension before we go to this other side. Drawing your feet close to your hips, hip width apart. We'll take the left foot this time. Flex it, draw it across the right thigh. Push that left knee out. Some of you will stay right there. It feels good and you don't need any more. Some of you will come with me. You'll draw that right leg up. Grab behind the knee. Just take pressure off the knee joint. Drawing that right knee in towards your chest. Flexing the left foot. You can roll the right ankle out again if that feels good. You need a little more there. Or you can also invite some rocking across the hips just to take this stretch more dynamically. If that feels right for your body, maybe you want to hold and just stay static, and that's what works for you. We design the practice for our own body. We recognize that our practice is ours alone to really connect with our own body and all of its idiosyncrasies. Coming through center, We'll hook those left toes on the outside of that right knee to allow the right knee to drop to that right side. Extend your left arm out, gaze down that left side. Right hand finds that left foot, right? Maybe you have to draw that foot in a little closer. Push that left knee away. I'm really tight in my IT band on this side, so I notice I don't push out very far at all. It's where I am on this side. I accept it, I relax, and I breathe into this big twist. We'll get the quad coming all the way onto that right side. You're going to release that right hand, draw it up so you find the bicep. Left leg on top of right. And we draw that left heel toward the glute, remembering that we can find the pant leg if we're really tight there and we can't get to the foot just yet. But remember, it's a practice. And with practice, one day you may be right here with me. Tighten your belt as you come onto your back. That left knee is going to draw into the chest. The right leg's going to go long. We'll roll that left ankle out one direction, then the other. We draw that leg up to the sky. We keep the foot moving, pointing, flexing, rolling out. And then full supine twist. So we're going to bend the knee. Use your right foot to press and stack your hips as you draw that knee across, keeping the spine long, keeping the shoulders flat. Gaze down that left side. Right hand on the left knee is guiding it down to the floor so that I can release all the way in that bottom hip. 2 more breaths. Belt tight as you come on to your back. Windshield wiper one last time as we're down here. So feet wide to the edges, long arms or goalposts. Start to windshield wiper the knees, side to side. One more round. And then we're going to come up into seated position. So we're going to take crossing the ankles, grab behind your knees, and we'll rock a few times up and back on the spine, if that feels good. If it doesn't, just land in your seated position and wait for me. I'm going to do a couple more. Just getting a massage along the whole spine with your own body weight can feel really good. I'm going to land in seated position. I'm going to face you, my mats. So I'm starting with my right leg in front, but we're going to switch that out in just a bit. So it doesn't matter which side you're starting on. We'll switch it out and make it even in just a moment. We'll start with some side stretching to begin with. So take that left arm down and right arm overhead. We'll inhale those arms up and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more each side. Spread your arms wide. You'll bring the opposite arm of the leg in front. So I'm looking at this arm as which one's going to land on top in my eagle arm. So opposite of the leg in front, on top. An eagle can find the shoulders with the palms or the palms themselves. But remember, this is enough. By lifting your elbows up to your chin, you're gonna feel a really good stretch there. And I invite you to start there if this is a new pose for you, right here. If you're more advanced in your practice and you know you have this availability, but even some days I don't have this and this feels better. And right now at this time in the day, this feels better. So I'm gonna do this right now. And so with this, we're gonna take those elbows up, like I said, keep your chin lifted, don't tuck it. Breathe into that really nice shoulder stretch. And then we're gonna add a little bit of ab work here. So you'll fold forward, but you're not gonna come very far. You're gonna stay flat in your back, don't round at all. Your hips don't lift. You come about third way down, possibly. From there, you'll start to sway side to side. You're turning on the oblique muscles. You're getting into your abs. Some ab work here. Strengthening through the core. Just understanding how much that gives us stability in life, truly. And so a couple more rounds here, just using the breath as you move. Last round of breath. You'll come through center, drop your hands to the mat, walk out a little bit. This is where a block, if you've brought tools with you, can be really handy to lift this floor up to you. Tuck your chin and let your spine curve here. We're opening up in the hip of the leg that's in front. So just breathing into this hip opener, upper back stretch through the neck. And if you want to turn your neck slowly side to side, gazing over each shoulder slowly, just taking some tension out of your neck here. On your next inhale, you'll come up in that torso, lifting that upper body. And we'll switch the leg in front and we'll twist this time from side to side, flowing that with the breath. Starting on this left side, we'll inhale, arms overhead, and exhale into the twist. Remember, we're not pulling ourselves into the twist by grabbing the knee. We're gently resting the arm. We're twisting from the waist. We're staying tall in the spine, lengthening with that inhale as we come across, and exhaling, maybe gazing over that back shoulder, taking that twist a little deeper, a couple more rounds here. Last side, last round. Eagle arms on this side, so we'll spread those arms wide. Opposite arm on top should be your other one. And again, you have the same options on this side, and take what feels right for you here. Lifting elbows up to the chin height to really feel that good stretch down the backs of the shoulders. Tighten your belt before you fold forward about a third, if even that, staying flat in your back. Your hips aren't lifting at all. Your chin is not tucking. You're gazing out in front of you. And then you're beginning to move slowly, because you're really using all those muscles along your obliques and your transverse abdominals to take that upper body side to side. You don't want to tear anything. Use the breath. You have one more round. And then we'll drop down in front like we did on the other side. Get as low as feels right. Maybe a block comes and helps that floor lift up to you. You can tuck your chin, curve the spine, feel that stretch on the hip in your leg in front. Breathe into that. Next inhale, you'll lift that upper body again. We'll get a little bit of deeper twisting here in our seated position and then come into final resting seated meditation for the end of our practice. So I'm going to have you take that left leg long, but keep your right in there. And we're going to take a forward fold first down this left leg. So inhale your arms overhead. And then exhale, fold forward. Let the arms drop wherever they do. Keep these toes flexing in to really stretch down the back of that leg. One more breath here. We're not going to be here very long. And then inhaling, we're going to lift up and twist all the way over to this right side. Next inhale, come forward, draw this right leg up and over this left leg. You can keep that leg long or you can bend it up if that feels better for your hips. So the long is going to be less intense. Bending up is going to be a little bit of a bigger hip opener if you can handle that. You go there and you're really tight here and you can't get this leg out and flat in your sit bones. You got to just extend that leg back out, and that's okay, right? We just accept where we are in any given day. And by allowing our body, we're hugging this knee in and we're twisting a little deeper into this right side. By allowing our body to be where it is, by not judging and criticizing our own practice, we are practicing that unconditional love. We are practicing the receiving of the infinite love that is ours to learn to receive. It is ours to experience. And we experience it right here in the now on our mat with the allowing our body to be where it is. Taking one last breath here. Come forward, we'll counter twist out of this. So long leg or bent, you'll just bow to this left side and then release. And we'll go to the other side right away. So first move is that long leg with the left foot tucked into the thigh. Tight belt around your waist, sit bones underneath of you, and your toes pulling forward so that everything's engaged. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Hands drop. Toes are flexed, so you really feel this stretch down the back of your leg, and we just do one more breath. Inhale up and into the twist on this left side. Couple more breaths here. Inhale brings you forward, brings this leg over the right leg. You can stay long there and hug into this twist, or you could bend up to open the hips a little more. And we're hugging this knee in, looking over that left shoulder, breathing into this twist as we inhale, lengthening the spine, maybe exhaling, twisting just micro from the waist. One more breath. Good, come forward and you're gonna find your easy seated position. So some of you might wanna be on the tops of your feet. That might feel good to you to get a little stretch on the tops of your thighs as we end practice in some guided meditation. Maybe a block, a bolster, a blanket under you to lift your hips if that feels comfortable. Maybe it's just one leg in front. Could be feet together, right? Just giving you lots of options to get comfortable here. We're going to be here for a little bit. So when you get where you can, hold for a little while. Nice long straight spine, chin parallel to the floor, right? Not lifted, not tucked, just straight on. Shoulders soft away from the ears, hands resting gently on your thighs. And then I'm going to have you right away turn your palms up. And some of you may connect the first finger and thumb, understanding that mudra. And then you can have heavy eyes with a gaze down, or you can shut them all the way. Begin to connect with your breath. Staying with the breath, feeling the coolness of the breath come through your nose. And the warmth of the breath come out the nose. I'm going to ask you to turn your imagination on, and with me, imagine a beach. You see the white sand, you see the crystal blue water. You feel the warmth of the sand underneath your bare feet. You're walking toward the ocean, you're walking toward the hammock, tied between two palm trees. And you're getting in the hammock. You're feeling that sun come off your skin as you get into the shade of the palm trees. You feel the breeze that's slightly cool in the air, but still there's a warmth. You begin to sway gently in that hammock, gazing out at the water, recognizing that in this very moment, all is well. Hearing the birds off in the distance, recognizing you're safe and secure without a care in all the world, in this hammock, on this beach, looking at this water. And just be here now for a few more moments. In the hammock, on the beach, near the ocean, hearing the waves trickle in. And we're going to slowly come out of this, wiggling the fingers. Maybe gently bringing your eyes back open. And we'll take a breath together, our final breath together. We sweep arms overhead with a big inhale. I like to say, gathering this infinite peace that we have experienced. We invite it, receive it deep, 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 deep within our hearts to share it with our families, our friends, our neighbors, even those that trigger. The divine light within me honors, sees, cherishes that same divine light within you. Divine legend. Namaste.